guys and welcome to my channel. So this is my new dorm room and I didn't have time to upload that many videos lately because I was moving out and moving in here. Anyway, it's March already and it's obviously time for my February wrap-up and my March TBR. I read 12 books in the month of February and the first one is Wire and Nerves by Marissa Meyer. It was actually one of my first times reading a graphic novel and I really enjoyed it, especially because I love the Lunar Chronicles, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The second book I read was also a kind of comic book. It's called My Japanese Husband Thinks I'm Crazy. I currently lent it to a friend, which is why I don't have it with me here today. And it's written and illustrated by Grace Bushele Mineta. I hope I pronounced it right. It's basically the story of, it's kind of like also biographical-ish, I don't know, like it's comics like stripes about her life in Tokyo. She comes from the United States and I really enjoyed it. I found out about this book through the author's YouTube channel, which I will link in the description, and you should definitely check it out. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next thing I read is actually a short story audiobook from Audible, which was called Bringing Stan In by Julia Rochester. It's an Audible freebie. It was beautiful, not the best thing ever, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The rest of the books I read, I realized, are all ebooks, and yeah, I realized I really enjoy reading ebooks on my Kindle because I read faster and I can have them with me all the time. Don't worry, I still love the paper versions, but since I will have to move back to France at some point, it's also good to have some ebooks. Anyway, I read the 3 Pottermore Presents series of short stories by Rowling, all evolving around the wizarding world, and they were all absolutely amazing. Yeah, they follow characters from the series who we learn more about, like Lupin and McGonagall and Professor Slughorn and others, and also talk about Hogwarts and everything. So I definitely recommend them. They all got 5 out of 5 stars and they were all absolutely wonderful. I read a review copy I should have read and reviewed a long time ago. I just finished it and I promise I will post my review as soon as I can. It's The Alien Conspiracy by C.A. Gray. It was published back in July and it's the second book in the Liberty Box trilogy, which is a kind of dystopian story with mind control and stuff like that, you know, and I won't tell you more because I don't want to spoil the story for you. I think I liked it better than the first book, but it was still not, like, I don't know, something was missing. I give it 3 out of 5 stars and I will try to read the last book as soon as I can. It's gonna be released in March, so I really want to read it and post my review before it's released, so that's probably gonna be one of my next reads. Anyway, the next book I read was called Anything You Can Do by R.S. Gray. It was published at the beginning of the month of February. I've been following the author for quite some time on Instagram, and when I saw she was releasing a new book, I decided I should pick it up because I hadn't read anything by her. It's a kind of sexy love-hate relationship romance, and yeah, it's different from what I usually read, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. I have to say, I really like enemies turn lovers stories, so of course this really worked for me. In the end, I give it 3 out of 5 stars. The next book I read is a book that's very dear to me because it deals about the Korean industry in music and drama, and I really used to watch a lot of Korean dramas and I still listen to K-pop. Anyway, the book is called Scandalized. It was written by Tara Freyas, I hope I say it right. It's featuring a Filipino girl who is moving to Korea to work in the K-pop industry. She's the manager of a band, but she is entrapped into a scandal which kind of ruins her career. It was a really interesting book considering I really like this whole K-pop thing, and I think it was really true to how it is. Every time there is a scandal you can see how crazy it gets, and it's something that is completely different from the Hollywood industry. It was a really interesting book. It's available on ebook and you should definitely check it out. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read is the second book in the Awakened duology. It's called The Sanctuary and it was published by Off Thompson, written by Sarah Elizabeth Santana. I read The Awakened last year and I really loved it, even though I thought I wouldn't be that fond of this kind of zombie story. It was a really good book. So The Sanctuary was the sequel and also the last book, since this is a duology, and I think I liked it better than the previous one. It follows Zoe and her neighbor Ash as they run away from these crazy bluish monsters called the Awakened, which are like super smart zombies. They meet people on the way and they try to find shelter, etc, etc. I absolutely really loved this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars and it really broke my heart in the end, because it was such a different romance, I guess. I don't want to say more because I don't want to spoil you. It was beautiful and heartbreaking. And yeah, I really love this book and I would definitely recommend this duology as well as all the books published by Off Thompson. I know I mention them often because you should definitely check them out. Now, the next book I read is a book I actually started quite a while ago, in November I think, because it was recommended by one of my professors, and it's called Fledgling by Octavia Butler. It's kind of vampire story mixed with science fiction, because these are like people that are vampire-like, but some are modified, like their DNA is modified so they can be more powerful and stuff like that. It's really a unique story. It was fascinating. I really couldn't put it down and I really recommend it, especially if you like vampire stories. If you like science fiction, it's also something you could enjoy, and it's a unique book you should definitely check out. I give it 4 out of 5 stars because I was a bit confused at times and I wanted more at the end, so yeah. I think that's all the books I read in the month of February. Now I want to talk about the books I want to read in March. So I mentioned in my previous wrap-up TBR that I needed to check out the second book in the Broken Dolls series by Tyrolean Booksy, and I didn't have the time to read it this month, so I hope I can get around it in March since the author sent me a review copy. I also just mentioned that I wanted to read The Potentate by C.A. Gray, which is the third book in the trilogy of the Liberty Box. Now, I also have had these books on my Goodreads currently reading shelves for ages, and I keep showing it to you because I still haven't finished it. I hope I can make some progress, as I say every month. The next book on my TBR is City of Saints and Thieves. I believe it was already on my TBR last month, but I didn't get around it. I actually read so many ebooks I didn't get around my physical copies. Anyway, it was released in January. It's a story set in Kenya, featuring a girl from Congo, and it's a kind of thriller, I believe, and I really want to check it out. The next book is a book I wanted to wait to order, and then I decided to order it anyway. You saw it in my previous video. It's The Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. I will probably try to read it this month because I'm really curious. And the last book on my TBR is also a book I just received. It's King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. I wanted to pick it up as soon as I received it because I'm really curious about the end of this series, but I decided to wait a little bit because of the moving and all the books I was reading. So yeah, I am also currently reading the second book in the Starbright series, which is called Balance Broken by Hilary Thompson, which is another Off-Tone release. I really enjoyed it. I enjoy it at the moment. I'm almost finished, and you will have my opinion on this book next month. And finally, I'm also listening to the audiobook for The Queen of the Tearling. For some reason, I didn't pick this book before. I don't know, I was afraid I wouldn't like it, and it's actually amazing. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to finish it. I've been listening to it over and like hour after another while I was packing, and I absolutely love it. I will probably finish it soon as well. I guess that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Maybe give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos. And I guess I'll see you around. Bye!